Hey class, today I'm making my grandma's gnocchis. My mom is going to be helping me make these.
So what Eileen is talking about is ricotta gnocchis, which are a fluffy Italian, kind of like a noodle. You've probably seen them at Olive Garden or Italian restaurants, but they're made with potato. This recipe is made with a different kind of Italian cheese that Eileen's grandmother, my mom, has adapted. So we're teaching Eileen how to make these today, right? Because they're one of your favorites?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so a recipe calls for 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of the ricotta cheese, 1 egg, and 3 tablespoons of the Pecorino Romano cheese. But for our family, we're actually going to make 2 recipes worth. So we're going to double that and do 2 of each. So, take the flour in me. There's 1 cup. Okay. 2 cups. Very good. All right, do you have our spatula there? We're going to get this here. We're just going to break off the cheese and put it in our cup here.
Yummy.
Another scoop here.
Oh no, you're making
Kind of messy. Pack this down a little bit. Make sure that it's a good helping of a full cup, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pack it down. All right. Plop that in there, ma'am. Get it right there. You go.
Finally.
Good. Let's get the next one going.
This is fun.
Okay.
You haven't even done anything besides add the 2 cups of flour and add the 2 cups of Italian.
2 cups of flours and the 2 cups of ricotta.
Ricotta cheese.
A lot of people also say it as ricotta.
Ricotta.
But the more Italian way of saying it is ricotta. So that's just how I grew up saying it and how I'm trying to teach my kids how to say it as well. So there is the 2nd cup of ricotta cheese. Now I'm gonna break, since you're doing it, want to break the egg? Why don't you break it in the cup so we make sure there's no shells in our bed? Oh, like that giant shell. Open the egg there. Get it in there, Eileen. Okay. Put 1 egg in. We're going to do the next one. Get the next egg in there. All right. Awesome job. Put that one in there.
Goodbye.
All right. Now I'm going to try and see.
Ooh, this was...
Actually, can we have our sous chef, her brother Tommy, can you go get us a spoon and a fork, please?
Yeah. A big spoon?
Just a littler spoon?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And a fork. Yep.
Thanks.
Yep, perfect. Thank you, Tom. Hurry, sous chef Tom. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to use that to mix. Not right now, buddy. Okay, and then we're going to put this in there. Sorry, Eileen, I should be letting you do this. Okay.
Thanks.
So, actually, push this back in there. Scoop this out. This is 1 full tablespoon. Get the cheese. Make sure it's nice and full. A little bit more. There you go, kind of. We Italians, yeah, we do. When we measure things, we do a good heaping helping of it. Another one for 2. Actually, we need 6 of these.
Wow.
Because we're doing a double recipe. Okay, so that's 2. Come on, let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, 2, 3.
3 more.
There you go, 4.
And 5.
5.
Oops. A bit more cheese.
Last one. There you go.
6.
And 6. Perfect. So, right now, show them what all our ingredients look like. Just a pile in there. First, we're going to take our fork, and then we're going to mix it all together.
First, we gotta mix the egg.
Give it a good mix. Keep mixing it, ma'am.
The whole thing or the egg?
All of it together, not just the eggs.
Oh, right. That side. Really want to make sure it's good and mixed. When you mix it, make sure there's no eggs left except for the ones, or what they call the yolk. Make sure it's all
yolk.
The yolk is not.
The other thing is you want to make sure, since the cheese, the ricotta cheese we put in there, that is kind of wet, but it's chunky. So we really want to make sure that all gets mixed up. So we're going to try and get most of that we can mixed with the fork.
These look like eggs that haven't been
But
cooked.
see how that's looking right now? But because of the ricotta and that, the ricotta, now Eileen did wash her hands. We're going to start to use our hands and just mix that all together with your hands, ma'am.
Yeah, wash your hands before you cook. Oh, this is fun. This feels like...
You got to really get in there. Mix it, stir it.
This feels like
You're
Play-Doh.
going to want it all to be one. So you really got to get in there.
This feels like Play-Doh but slime.
No, all of it. Get in there. There you go. Start trying to make it all into like one big ball, but you gotta really work it, because we're actually making what's gonna look like a big piece of dough. Big piece of dough, like cookie dough or a pizza dough. You gotta really work it in there, ma'am.
Okay.
See, you're doing better. Get it going. Get all the pieces. See how when you turn it upside down, there's still a bunch of flour down there. So mix it up, not just the top. Your fingers got to go in from the bottom and bring it up. Mix it up.
If you were making pizza, this would be a lot.
Mix. And when we come back, we're going to have it all in a ball, ready to go for you to show you the next step.
And we're back with
So
our ball.
here's what Eileen has done. Ta-da! So now it looks like a big old pile of dough. Put it down here real quick. We're just going to give it another little push. Make sure it's all good. So now, because it is a dough, and what we're going to want to do, we do have to just work it a little bit more, but she did a fantastic job. Is we're going to get, here's a piece of plastic wrap. Put it down here. Now put the dough right in the middle there, and half it, and then put the sides so it's all enclosed. Wrap it, because we don't want the outside of the dough to form a crust. But because when we need to work with this dough to make our little shapes, we need it to be very cool. So we're going to put this in our refrigerator for an hour. And we'll be back in that hour. We won't make you watch us for an hour, right? All right, thank you. We'll be back.
And we're back. It has been an hour, and we already started making some
Gnocchis.
gnocchis. We already started making gnocchis. So what you do when it's an hour, you take a knife and you carefully cut a little slit like this. Then it's very hard for me to roll it on the tray, or the thingy-majig, and I like to roll it in my hands. The length you want is like this, or if you're a little kid like me and have small hands, it could be this long. So then you take...
I'll bring you in for a close-up. Let me switch it around here.
So what you do is you
ma'am.
take a knife, a butter knife to be specific, and you want not a chubby one, not a skinny one, just a nice good half an inch like that, and you carefully cut it. Don't cut your fingers. Be careful when you're cutting. And you just keep on going.
Okay, why don't you show them now what we do with them?
So now what you do with them is you take, this is the hard part, take the tip of the fork, the actual fork, press down all the way and roll. Now, if you're
good.
a little kid like me, it's really hard because you might do like this, that you're supposed to push it down and then just pretend like you're going away. Push down and then over. Remember, push down all the way. You should be touching it. And then carefully, this is a little small, roll. Again, tip it and roll.
Okay, and the reason, do you know why that we do that, make those shapes like that?
No.
It's because it's such a thick piece. We get a little bit of space and air in there, and also it helps with getting some sauce to get inside of the noodle. There's those holes in the air pockets that the sauce, when you're done cooking, will get in there too.
When my mom was talking about that, I was finishing my last few noodles.
Okay.
And then once you're done with that, you're going to take a nice good pot that has boiling, that has some water in it, and I had to add some salt, and you're going to put it on the stove, and you put the gnocchis in there.
So we'll show you.
You put the...
So we're just going to drop a couple in to show you when you cook, to see how they cook. So you want to go ahead and put them in there. And how do you know when they're cooked and ready to go, Eileen?
Because the gnocchis would slowly, like, come up to the top, but I like to say rise, but
They're floating, right?
they float.
So see, they're in there. They're all at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be back when they float up to the top. What do we do, though, if we make lots of them, since we have a lot more dough and we're not going to eat them all? Remember what I told you? What do you do?
So if you have a lot of dough and you only want to make like a little bit just for fun, you can put it like cut them and all that. With
You make them all. You put them on a cookie sheet,
you
right?
Put them on, yes, you put them on a cookie sheet with is it the salami crack or whatever?
No.
You don't. Oh no! You remember, you don't use it, and you just carefully put them in a Ziploc baggie.
No, silly. You put them on the cookie tray, and then you put them in the freezer and freeze them on the sheet. And then once they're frozen, take them out, and then what?
And then you take them out and you put them in a nice good Ziploc baggie, and they're ready to go.
Back in the freezer for another night, right?
Well, they're ready to go back in the freezer. But when it's done after that, you can eat them. If they're cold, then you put them
And look what we have, folks. We have
See, it doesn't take that
risen
long.
gnocchis, not as long as a regular noodle. Also because they're fresh. So we're just going to dip this around a couple times, right, Eileen?
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to have a slotted spoon. Pull them out. We'll put them back over here. And there you have it. Good job, Eileen.
So, again, just redo it. Roll. Put them like this. Again, cut it. Here's the tricky part again. Here's another tricky part. When you do it, make sure it's not flat or it won't turn out as nice.
You just run them round, right?
Yes, you want them nice and round. And that is the end of
And that is her brother getting in the way again.
Very good. That's my brother. And so that's the end of cooking these gnocchis. I hope you had fun making them, or if you just watched it, I hope you had fun. Bye!